Hi everybody, it's Endo here from Japan. As you can see, my years here are finally starting to pay off and I'm getting to into the dragon level of lip syncing. The other day when I was on a trail ride, I come across a small puddle of water my horse decided to have a few issues with. Here it is here.
Many rivers to cross, but I can't seem to find.
I realised this puddle is a little deeper than some of the ones you guys might have to run into. But a lot of people say I inspire them, so let's keep that inspiration going, and if I can get these TBs through this puddle, you guys should be able to get your horses through puddles that are only a few inches deep. As you can see by the clip, horses don't actually have a problem with water. They stand there in the rain, they've been drinking it all their life, they get hosed in it, they're playing it, they're rolling it like they're doing now. But it's always on their terms. They have a problem when it's on our terms, when we want to ride them through it or lead them through it. That's what we've got to address today. Now for everyone that rides horses, the water trap is something we're all going to have to deal with one day, sooner or later. So today I'm going to show you how I deal with it. This isn't going to be textbook, it's just basically going to be what works for me. I don't see why it can't work for you. I'm not going to be doing any fancy riding. You're not going to need a Velcro butt to do this. Okay, there are basically two ways we can do this. The easy way or the hard way. The easy way being is to open up a can of whoop ass on the horse, get it in there on my time. That won't help me next time because it'll be that quick the horse won't remember how it actually got in there. The other way, the hard way, would be to introduce the water to the horse, get the horse to accept it, go in on his time. A little bit more time consuming, but in the long run that's the best way, so that's what we're going to do today. Okay, getting off with dismounting is absolutely out of the question here for several reasons. Probably the best one is you bought the horse to ride, not to hold its hand going through water. You pay the bills, you have absolutely every right to ride through a puddle of water. Get the horse's feet wet, not yours. Another reason is you could get off and the horse could pull away from you. You'd have to walk home. Also, getting off and introducing the horse to water from the ground won't actually guarantee it will go in there once you're on the saddle again. That has to be introduced as well. I call this issue the max factor. I see these hurdles or mental blocks like the doors Max for Smart goes through at the beginning of Get Smart. Each one of these doors or mental blocks has to be addressed as you come across them, not by throwing doors at the horse in the round pen, because you're only clearing the door or mental block that appears in the round pen, not the ones that appear outside on the ride. These doors have to be addressed as they appear, and believe me, they're sharp everywhere. Horses don't load on trailers because there's a mental block or door between the horse and the trailer. Horses refuse jumps because there's a mental block or door between the horse and the jump, etc, etc. Why these doors appear is irrelevant. Getting through them or making them disappear is the problem. I deal with this all the time with the babies or the young horses, getting them through the starting gates, the wash bays, the trailers, and as you can see like today, the water. And what happens today will determine the thickness of the door next time. Because if I succeed today, the door will only be half as thick next time and half as thick as that the time after. However, if I fail or quit before I get her in there, the next door is going to be twice as thick as it is today and be twice as thick after that. In most cases there are 3 doors to each instance or obstacle or whatever. 3 successes nearly guarantees the mental block will go for good. But 3 failures will nearly guarantee the horse has your number and you've lost this one. Okay, so here we go. So what I'm going to do now is shut down half the horse's options to evade. I will allow it to go backwards and forward. They're the only 2 options the horse has. I won't allow it to turn around. If it does manage to do a U-turn, I'm going to be in trouble because the horse will focus on that thinking there's a way out. I really just wanted to focus on one thing, the water, but she's not going to do that until she takes everything in, the surroundings, what evading options she has. Once she's done all that and she's given in, she should just walk in. Okay, heading to the round pen isn't going to help you here unless it's been raining and it's full of water, because it's the water that has to be introduced, not respect or any work you could do in a round pen. I think too many people head to the round pen when they run into problems with horses because one, it's the easy way out, and two, that's what everyone else does. Unfortunately, the round pen, in my opinion, is just a one-way street. You never hear about what happens when they come out. In this case, you'd have the horse stopping at water again because he didn't clear that first mental block or that hurdle the first time. Of course, it's going to still be there when you get back. Also, having the horse to accept going in the water this side is only half my problem. Once I get to the other side, I'll have to turn around and get it to go in that way. That has to be introduced as well, the same way. There's more. If I've run into water on the way home that's a different shape, size or colour, I'll have to introduce that to her as well. So I don't think because you can get your horse through water at home, it's going to go through it in the trail ride. A lot of people make the mistake of desensitizing their horse to different things at home, thinking they're making the horse bomb-proof. Most foreign objects have to be introduced to the horse as you come across it. So I think people should learn to ride through these issues as they appear. Doing it beforehand isn't going to help once you're out in the ride, because you don't really know what to expect out there, what you're going to come across. Following other horses through isn't going to help you either. If halfway through the ride you remember you left the bath running or something and you have to double back alone because you didn't clear that hurdle going through the water alone, you only cleared the hurdle of following the other horses through. Every hurdle or mental block you encounter has to be addressed on an individual basis. Tools are always good to have, but in cases like these, the whole tool shed won't do you any good if you haven't got a game plan to bring them into action. Another thing I want to point out is, for this to be effective, this has to be done alone. You can't have other horses around because they'll suck in your horse's focus like a black hole, and because your horse will be focusing on the surroundings and ways to evade, you can't afford to lose any to the other horses. You need to salvage every bit of focus you can. As you can see, she's not really stressed out, she's just thinking of different ways out. I'm just heading her in the right direction, giving her a few kicks. Like I said, I don't mind her walking backwards. She's going to go back and forward, back and forward. Eventually she'll go in once she knows she can't get it anywhere else. She's not going to go in before that. Like I said, it's got to be on her time. She's got to go in there. I'm more than willing to sit this out for an hour if I have to, because I know tomorrow it'll only take me half the time, and I'll have her after that. Basically she's just being stubborn, so I'm just going to go one step further. Also want you guys to know, this is just my opinion, what works for me. I don't want you to take my word for it. I want you to go out and try this yourself, to see if what I'm saying is true. Dig a hole in the paddock and fill it with water and see if your horse will go in there, see if you can ride your horse in there. More than likely it won't, because that paddock, that puddle wasn't there before. It has to be introduced to the horse. Also want you guys to know, this is just my opinion, what works for me. I don't want you to take my word for it. I want you to go out and try this yourself, to see if what I'm saying is true. Dig a hole in the paddock and fill it with water and see if your horse will go in there, see if you can ride your horse in there. More than likely it won't, because that paddock, that puddle wasn't there before. It has to be introduced to the horse. So it's pretty easy to see if this works or not. You can wait for rain, then get on your horse and try and ride it in. You probably get the same result. For those of you that have had trouble with water on trail rides, next time go out there alone and do this yourself. It'll give you more confidence next time. Once you clear this, you'll work your horse out. You'll know your horse has been bluffing you the whole time, and then you'll take on other challenges like ditches or hills and things like that. Once you clear these one at a time, you're going to be pretty unstoppable after that.